Hello, everyone. So, Solid Blue Sister here, and I am happy and excited to speak with the one and only DJ Karma Camille. She is someone that I happened upon on TikTok when I was just paging through one night, and I was hooked. Usually, I have been on some DJ shows where I'm like, okay, okay, but this lady, y'all gonna have to check her out. So without further ado, may I introduce DJ Karma Camille?
Hello, what's up? Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate the love.
Well, of course, of course. So I do want. I know this is a question that a lot of people have asked you, so I have to ask this.
Okay.
How did you get started just doing the whole DJ thing?
Well, I'm a singer. I'm a singer first. I started singing in cover bands and learning how to read a crowd. So that was my first introduction to learning how to fell in love with music as a child, but just learning how to read a crowd and falling in love with music that speaks to us, not just the music that makes us dance, but actually like love songs, R&B songs. And so I was able to learn how to read a crowd, and then working so many like corporate parties and private events, they would always be like on your break, can you spin the iPod? Can you play music? And while everybody else gets to take a break, I'm like stuck spinning the music. So I was like, I need to turn this into a real way to make money. It was a transition from me moving from Houston to Los Angeles, and I thought that that would be a good way to kind of make some extra income, and that's exactly what happened. A great way for me to still be expressive as with music, be a black female artist, a black female DJ. That's not many of us, and still be entangled into what I love to do is perform.
Okay, all right. And for those who don't know, I understand what you mean, but can you tell people what you mean when you say that you learn how to read a crowd?
Huh. Okay, so reading a crowd is basically setting apart, picking apart who you have in the audience. Um, it can be anything from age to race to um, seeing what they're responding to. And it just takes a wide knowledge of music to kind of make sure you implement the right song at the right time for the right group, which is very, very tricky being on TikTok because I cannot see what's going on the other side. I'm only vibing off of the comments that I get. So,
Well, that was a question that I wanted to ask you because I'm a baby boomer. Okay, when I say old school, I'm thinking of songs from 60s, 70s. My first concert I ever went to were the Jackson Five. You
mm-hmm.
know, um, so what demographic are you looking to like? What demographic are you looking to capture, or you don't care, or do you find, because when I read the comments, it seems like a lot of people are in the 40 on up crowd. I could be
Mm-hmm.
wrong.
No, definitely, I believe that. My initially, I just kind of started hopping in there with whatever I was feeling um, in my spirit, and then kind of maybe like halfway through, I've only been doing TikTok for maybe like 3 months now,
Really?
right? So halfway through that, I started putting a little bit more songs. I started opening my show with a little bit more songs with heavier beats. Still kind of grown and sexy, but more attention grabbing songs. So a little like bait almost, like just kind of like grabbing the attention of anybody who loves good music will understand. Any age will hear this song, and then they'll like, I like this song. So I feel like the demographic that I have is probably maybe mid 30s on up. If I play a really old school song and I get a lot of comments or a lot of feedback, of people saying, "Oh yeah, that's my song," then I know I'm dealing with someone older. You know what I mean? Or I see that there's a lot of older people. And then I feel like one thing about a musician is that you are not a musician, but a music lover. You know good music when you hear it.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't really matter if it's older. If you love music and you're 25, I have a lot of people asking me stuff like when they hear maybe a Rick James song or maybe a Smokey Robinson, like what's that? Because they've never heard it before, but they know that it's good, you know. So
Can we talk about that for a minute? Because okay, again, I'm a baby boomer. I am old school. I grew up in Chicago. Moved to Los Angeles. Now I live in Riverside County.
okay,
Um, there is a such thing as good music and bad music. Now,
uh-huh,
having said that, I am not a Beyonce fan.
hmm.
I'm not a fan of the newer stuff, but I truly believe that the old stuff is the best.
No, it is, and that's why it really so resonates with me because like I love um even when I was a child, I attracted to that. Like that was my go-to. And two, because my parents are pastors, so when we were growing up, um, secular music was not a thing in our house. But we could listen to Luther, and we could listen to Al Green, and we could listen to like Aretha. We could listen to love songs. Um, Everything else was like a no. So I think that's where the beginning of my love for old school songs kind of started for me. Um, and so the music that's out today, every now and then I come across something that I really love. Um, and I do like Beyonce. I like hip
Mhm,
hop. I like everything. But what resonates with my soul the most
mhm.
is the older stuff.
Okay, okay. So, are you a rap fan?
Yeah.
Okay.
I put it like this. Today's rap, no. Um, I play it because I have to. Do I remember the lyrics? No, but like back in like I would say the 2000 early 2000s, like the Diddy era, the Puffy, the
Mm-hmm.
Bad Boy, the Tupac,
Tupac is my
Quick,
favorite.
DJ Quick. I can recite those lyrics, Busta Rhymes, that kind of stuff. Those are with me taking myself out of just being a person. That's what I like. But as a
Okay.
DJ, I can't just do what I like, you know?
Well, right, right. That's
So,
true. That's true. And I do have a question from one of your followers. He
mhm.
wants to know because we got into a little back and forth on this. He wants to know, do you know all the words to the songs that you play?
I'm going to say I know 85, 80% of most of the stuff that I play. And that's just because I'm a singer and I've done literally I graduated from college and I've never worked one day in my field. I just went straight from college graduation to singing in bands. And so I have a wide vast of pleasing a white audience, pleasing a black audience, pleasing a younger audience and an older audience. So
Okay.
I know a lot of those songs. Yeah.
Okay. And and it's funny because I was telling him, I said, no, because when I was growing up, we sang or lip sync, whatever, you held your
Yeah.
pencil up in front of the mirror, whatever.
Yeah.
And we just knew the songs. And when songs come on, you just start singing them because
Yeah.
you know them. So I don't know if
Mhm.
it's a culture thing or whatever, but I think that we tend to know the words to our music more so,
Yeah.
if that makes
Sure.
sense.
For
So,
sure. And
okay.
then
And
too,
then,
I think like with advanced technology, as we like moved on, like I can't remember the last time I listened to the radio. Back then, the radio was all we had, so it's like
Yeah.
the same songs playing over and over again, and kind of like you kind of had to eat it. Like
Yeah.
you gonna like this song or turn it off. You know.
Right. Right.
Now we don't have that. You got so many more options to listen to music, so your brain is just everywhere. That's how I feel.
So when you started to DJ, because when you're live, I'm looking at your soundboard and it's for CDs, right?
Mhm. Well, it's called a CDJ, but there's no CDs in here. It's basically all digital. I have everything is digital in my computer.
Okay.
So I am going out of the turntables. It's just like a controller. So I'm going
Okay.
out of here, and it's controlling the music that I have in the computer. So it's no CDs. It's acting as a CD because I can see the digital lights going around and like where it is in the song, but it's no CDs in there.
So did you ever learn to DJ with actual albums or records?
No, that was before me, before my time, and I'm kind of glad because I as a female is it's already a lot like lugging when I get ready to go to a gig, I have to pack all this stuff up, sound, speakers, this, like lights. It's a lot. So it's something that you definitely have to be passionate about. But I can only imagine having to carry crates around.
Well, I mean, I say that not so much as having to lug everything around. Is that something that you think that people who started using the LPs have an
Mhm.
edge over people who were doing it like you are now? Like they learned the old school way and then they
Mhm.
moved into the digital, you know?
I think for me, one of the things that turned me off about never having to touch the vinyl book because I think that is it's great. I think that if you learned on there, if that's where you started, I think that's great. I was never attracted to it because I am a person that's always on the go, and I'm rough. I'm a tomboy. I just like throw it in there, throw it in the bag, let's go. With turntables, with vinyl, you have to keep needles. They're very expensive. You have to
Mhm.
keep needles. You have to keep your records in immaculate condition. It's no it's no way you can actually just put the record in there. It's like it has because it'll scratch,
Mhm.
and then you'll be out of a song. So for me, it's a turn off because I don't want to have to go to the store and buy needles every single time or records every single time. So for me, it's just better to have a library of music in the computer.
Okay.
I press play, we in that thing, So a lot of people that started on vinyl, they're true to their craft, just kind of like
Mhm.
me. For me, I'm as a singer, I like soul. I don't like runny singers. I like to
Mhm.
hear that that pure sound. But to the new age singers, that's their thing. That's what they like. But I like this. So it's to each his own. And
Okay.
I know some of the diehard vinyl fans, they frown upon the new school controllers. They don't like it.
Okay. All right. So, uh, hold on. I'm losing my train of thought here. Okay. So, why did you choose you? Kind of touched on it, but I'm going to go a little bit deeper. Why did you
Okay.
choose old school? I mean, even though you said you have to know how to read the room and stuff, and depending upon your crowd. But for TikTok, why did you choose old school as opposed to disco or hip hop or whatever?
Well, um, I want to say supply and demand.
Okay.
I logged on to TikTok. Actually, I started DJing on Facebook during the pandemic, and Facebook was just tripping. Like you would go live, and then all of a sudden you get a message. we're about to turn your live off because you can't play this song. I'm like, ugh. So after a while of that, it's just become annoying. And I did it for a while. And I was like, you know what? I'm over this. Then I had a TikTok account, but I had like 200 followers. And in order to go live on TikTok, you have to have 1,000 followers. So I was kind of like, I don't know. I just kind of went to a few DJs pages, and I noticed that a lot of people were either playing a lot of sexual music. They were doing the late night thing, but it would be more sexual, which I have no problem with sexual. But that's what their concentration was. Or if they were doing like other stuff, it would be either hip hop or Afro beats or just faster stuff. And to me, I was like, you know what? I need to do something for people that don't want to hear that, something alternative to feed souls of people. Because people started coming to me just basically telling me how they were hurting or how they were in the hospital or how it was just therapeutic for them. And I just wanted something with a little bit more substance, like that can speak to people on a more intimate basis instead of just, banging. But I do those during the daytime, just FYI. I have a lot of fun during the daytime. But at nighttime, that's when problems set in. Whatever people are going through, maybe breakups or just bad days, and you just kind of want to unwind. So this was the way that I could be nurture that.
Well, you have gone from 200 followers to a couple of thousands of followers.
Yeah.
So you are doing very, 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 very well. Do you see any pros or cons on TikTok?
I am in love with TikTok. To be honest, I ran from TikTok because I'm like, I'm sick of, I can't take another app. That's in my mind. That's what I was like. I can't take another get into it social app. And in my mind, I thought it was for kids. Because you think of TikTok and you think of people dancing. I was just over it. I don't know what made me just take an interest in trying getting on again. But once I think too, just the fear of having to learn something from scratch again, it's just like, eh. But TikTok has been the best for me out of all of them. I literally have stopped posting as much as I do on Instagram and Facebook, and I have focused on TikTok the most because there are people. It's not just for kids, and I think a lot of people think that, but it's been great. I like the interaction. I like the fact that people can send me tips, or if they like what they hear. I like that people, if they're serious about getting in touch with me, they'll find me just like you did. It's not like you can just send me a message and I'm stuck. If it's some crazy person, I have to respond. Or, So I like TikTok a lot. What about you? Do you like?
TikTok for me. I'm gonna be honest. When I first got on it, it was when I was doing this other show with this other person, and I had a TikTok account for years. I just never used it because I thought, like you, that it was mainly for these dancers, whatever, these young people, whatever. I was never really into Facebook. In fact, I didn't get on social media until the 2016 election. That's what propelled me onto social media, because I had to open up my mouth and tell everybody what I thought. So, but in the last couple of months, being on TikTok, there is an advantage because right now I think TikTok is a huge platform for a lot of people. And I follow a lot of different people. I follow, people like you. I follow, this one guy who I swear the stuff that he has taught me about Black history. I'm like, I didn't know that. I didn't know that, and then there's this old man that I follow. He just tells these little jokes. and they're so corny. But every time his post pops up, I'm just giggling, whatever. I'm just laughing, and yeah, and I, hit the like button, whatever. So I have found that TikTok is for some of everyone.
Yeah.
And right now it is, I think, the go-to platform for a lot of people. But like you said, I have so many apps. I'm like, I don't, people, well, you need to get on this. They're solid. You need to do this. I'm like, well, how do you do that? I'm like, I can't keep up.
Yeah, it's overwhelming. It really is. And then it's like, for me, I see creators making all this money, and I'm like that person. I'm a hustler, right? So I'm like, listen, you're not about to be making all this money, and I'm not about to get all this. So it's like literally when I post on TikTok, I have to take the videos and repost them to each platform, trying to make it grow, basically. So TikTok has been very educational, more than I thought. It's a lot of BS on there, but it's also a lot of people that are educational, and I like the fact that it gives people a chance to get exposure that would never have been able to get exposure otherwise.
So where do you see what is your next level?
That's a good question. I've been singing and gigging and loading gear back and forth my whole life. I am to the point now where I love it, but I want to do it and not have to do it. As far as me, like, on this level, as far as me being in charge of myself, me packing up my equipment, and I want to be able to get hired for a gig and just show up, and not have to bring anything. Just, that's one aspect as far as performance. As far as the platform, I would like to grow the platform to like 100K. That's my next goal, to get it to 100K, so that I can start making brand deals and not physically have to work so hard, but just still be able to, I like to call it ministering to people through music, because it's so therapeutic. I still want to be able to do that. And what I really love about the Late Night Hype Show is there's no club that's going to allow me to play these records. So it's a platform where you can come and hear these records.
You don't think so? You don't think there's a club that will allow you?
Just old school, old school? I don't think so.
Really?
But if you know something that I don't know, go ahead and let me in on it.
I mean, I would think that, the only reason why I ask is because just when I watch people, like when I go back home, and even with my friends, or if we're playing music, my brother-in-law, you go over his house, he still has the turntable, he still has the stereo, he has all of his LPs, he doesn't turn on the radio, he doesn't play CDs, he will have that album drop down. And when people come over their house and they're getting into it. Granted, these are older people, whatever, but I do believe that there are places where people want to hear, like you said, because if there was not a club for you to play this type of stuff, you think you would have as many followers as you do? Because people do, and you have followers from all over the world.
I think this is going to be the beginning of, I don't want to say evolution, but I think it's going to be the beginning of getting the word out that there is a need. Because I don't think promoters, they don't think like that, in my opinion. From my perspective, from my experience, promoters don't think like that, And then two, they may think that older people don't go out, or you live in LA, right? You live in So
I lived in LA. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, so
but still, it doesn't mean that when older people go out, they do want a place to go. Because I know when I went out one night and I went to this place and I looked, and I'm like, I can't stay here. All these young people, all this, the music just wasn't for me. I was like, is there some place we can go where, I mean, it was too much. So we ended up
yes,
going to a jazz place. But I do believe that there should be something for everyone. Don't assume that just because you get to be
yeah,
a certain age that you just gonna stay in the house, whatever. We
for
may be in the
sure,
house, but we're still listening to music and we would like to
for
go out
sure,
sometime. you know,
for sure. I
you
am
know.
totally there. I totally agree, and I would love to. I would love to once I grow to where I want to grow. I would love to do a tour of what the late night hype is. You know,
Okay. Okay.
um, people come out and actually dance with each other, slow
Mhm.
dance
Mhm.
or whatever. I would love that. That would
Mhm.
be awesome for me. Even just going around to major cities and just make it a big party. You know.
Well, even though I'm not Rachel Maddow or any of these big people, I mean, my goal for my show, because I have learned that you have to promote yourself, which takes a lot of time, a lot of
Yeah.
effort, whatever. But my goal is, and I know I will get there, is
Hmm.
making my show a mainstream show that is, hey, did you see Solid Show yesterday or
Yeah.
whatever? I mean, that is my goal. And if I can, help you in my own little way to promote yourself,
I
I'm
appreciate
all about, helping people, so, and that's why, when I saw you, I said, she has a story to tell because she is good. She is, I mean, you are really, really good. And the people that I have shared the show with that
it.
follow
Hmm.
you, they're like, she's good. I mean, and it's not just the fact that the music that you're playing is good. You come across as genuine, you like what you do, you get into it. I mean, you're just not up there. Okay, let's see. It's 9 o'clock. Okay, 12. Okay, here. I mean, it's like you are really getting into it, and even though you don't talk a lot when people are going to the chat,
Hmm.
the interaction is still there. The moderators that you chose,
Yeah.
they are um interacting for you, where they are your voice, you
Yeah,
know,
man. They
and
are they are
you know,
amazing.
so I mean, all that counts, and you add all that up, you have your. I'm telling you, your show is the bomb. Even when I can't really relax and listen to you, I'll still have you on,
Hmm.
and I'll be working or doing whatever, and I'm just sitting in my, whatever. But I'm just saying, you are, yeah. People are gonna know who you are. They are.
I appreciate that. I really, really do. It kind of chucks me up a little bit, like just because, like when me myself, I'm a very nurturing person. I'm very, you would not believe this, but I'm very shy. Um, so that's another thing. TikTok has given me like a platform to. Like when I'm in person, when I sing, I'm a very animated person on stage. Like
Mm-hmm.
I think of Tina Turner, like balls to the walls, gutsy, like no bars held, like just very outgoing. But I think being a pastor's daughter, there's still a certain level of me that is in person. It's like meek, very modest, um, and my mom used to force me to sing, and I hated her for that. Like at church, she like, girl, if you don't get up on that stage and sing, I'm gonna take you in the back, and it's gonna be me and you. I was just shy, and it just
Wait,
really,
was she making you sing because you could sing, or she just make you
yeah.
sing? Okay,
She knew that I had a voice.
okay,
She just forced me, and as a child that's very shy, that to me that was just like the worst thing in the world. Like getting
right.
up being vulnerable. There's a certain level of vulnerability that comes along with that, you know. So anyway, I when I moved here, that's when I forced myself to like get out of that, get out of being shy. I still am, but when I got a microphone, that's all over. Like it's almost like a Sasha Fierce. It's like on and off. Like when the microphone is off, so am I. And then when it's on again. But yeah, I have always been very very shy, but me having this platform and then having people want to participate and I didn't ask them to be moderators. They asked me, and I said yes, and they're passionate about it, and they're amazing at what they do, and I just feel blessed to have a crew of people and people that aren't even moderators. You know, they're participating and they're saying things to people and, you know, speaking for me per se. And it feels really good to be in a position to be able to supply that for people to help me, and then they help others as well, you know.
Okay. All right. So when you first moved from oh, sure.
Okay.
When you first moved from Houston to LA, was it your destination was to be involved in music?
Most definitely. I knew that I had something a little bit, I would say special. Just being able to touch people through music, through song. When I got here, I wasn't a strong DJ. I had just really started learning how to DJ. Um, but I was a very powerful entertainer. So I wanted to get out of Houston and come here so that I can be exposed to more,
Artsy.
put myself in a way of a blessing more than I would in Houston. So there's more connections here. There's more ways of networking. So that was my intention, to come here and just network.
Okay. Can I ask how long you've been in Los Angeles?
Yeah. I've been here. I came here in 2010.
Okay.
So I've been here almost 12 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do your parents feel about you and your DJing and your backup singing and all that other stuff?
My parents, or initially we come from the South, so you know Southern parents in the church is just Southern parents in the church. So it was initially like, why are you not singing gospel? You need to sing gospel. And now they just, I think it's just common now. I guess they tired. I'm tired. We tired of fighting. Just do what you do.
Okay.
But they still are pastors. They still do their thing. I still love God and I still sing gospel music. And I feel like if that's your conviction, then that's your conviction. But you can't put your conviction on me.
Right, right. Do you have any brothers or sisters?
I do. I'm the oldest. My sister right under me, her name is Brittany Washington. She is an amazing keyboardist.
I was about to ask, were they singers or were they in? Okay.
She's toured with Beyonce. She's toured with CeeLo. My brother also is a musician. He's been signed to Interscope Records. And I have another little sister who's also an amazing singer. So we're all musically inclined. We love.
Wait, so your parents raised these musical kids.
Yeah.
Okay, and you said the only thing you guys could really listen to was Luther or Al Green or whatever. I just think it's just ironic that all of you now are just into all kinds of music.
Everything else, yes. Exactly. It just goes to show you can do what you wanted to with your kids, but at the end of the day, they're gonna do what they want to do. Huh?
They will. They will. They absolutely will. They absolutely will. So I have to ask this. One of my last couple of questions. What was your very first concert that you went to? Well, okay, this is a two-part question. So answer that question first. What was the very first concert ever that you went to?
Okay, my very first concert, I was an adult. Because I
Okay.
told you, my parents would not let me go
Okay.
anywhere. Very strict. I won some tickets to go see Frankie Beverly and Maze.
Okay. All right.
I did not know when I got there. I was looking for Frankie. I was looking for Beverly, and I was looking for Maze. I didn't know this was Frankie Beverly and Maze.
Right.
So
Right.
it was just funny because I was just like, where are the other two guys at? I just thought it was three guys. I don't know. It's so funny. But
But
that
did
was my
you
first
okay?
time.
But did you not listen to their music beforehand, or you didn't know, or you were invited to go and you didn't know who he was?
I was very young. I won tickets on the radio. I've heard their
Okay.
song. Of course, we heard, before I let go, I hadn't dug deep in the records, but the
Okay.
popular songs maybe, I've heard before, but never knew. I didn't grow up listening to that. And so, because that's like before my time. So I just heard the songs on the radio, maybe once and again. And then I never owned a record, or there's no Google for me to be like, who Frankie Beverly is. Just like, I just knew that I loved the music and I didn't mind going to the show because the
Okay.
tickets were free. So I
Okay.
got the tickets, we went, I had a great time, and I was like, well, now I know that Frankie Beverly is a man and Maze is a man.
Okay. All right. So, okay, and the other part of the question um, is there someone that you would have love or would still love to see in concert, but just you just haven't gotten, you just for whatever reason you're busy, whatever, you just have not been able to see them?
um, so I really, really wanted to see Luther. Like, Luther was up here for me, and I get a lot of my tonality, and because once again that's what we were allowed to listen to. So I learned a lot from him. Vocally, I when he died, it just broke me down because I was like, no, I didn't get a chance to see him. So I made it a point to never miss a person that inspired me to go to their concert. So after that, Tina Turner got out of retirement, and I was like, I'm going. Forget that. So I bought a ticket to that. Amazing. She was doing it. I think she was maybe 60. She just turned 60 or something, and she was amazing. And Prince, I I went to numerous amounts of his concerts, like so many. Um, so those are my top three. I didn't get to see Luther. I wish that I had. And but the best concert I ever seen in my life was Al Green. Okay.
Okay.
Al
Okay.
Green was the best concert I ever seen in my life. He had one spotlight on him. It was no thrills, no frills. It was just Al Green, the microphone, the band, and I left there feeling like I was floating. It was amazing.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I had I had one of the best concerts I've been to, not the best.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Jackson 5 when I was little, my dad took my sister and I. Then when they were the Jacksons, I saw them in 1979, and then I saw Michael again in 88, I do
Mm-hmm.
believe. And it was one of the best concerts, just the fact of, at that point he was huge,
Right.
and just the performance alone, just everything. It was just such a good performance. Tina, I did get a chance to see. I
Mm-hmm.
saw Tina in 1980 in Chicago in this dive bar when she was
Ah.
when she was just coming back from leaving Ike, whatever, and she was just starting over. I saw her then, loved her, and then I got a chance to
Mm-hmm.
see her again at the Hollywood Bowl. And and you look at this, it's like, wow, she was here and now she's here, whatever. You just see these people, and I got a
Yes.
chance to see Aretha before she died when she was at the Hollywood Bowl. But Prince I only got a chance to see once. But one person that I never got a chance to see, almost did but didn't, when she could sing when she was really singing, was Whitney Houston.
I knew you were gonna say Whitney. Yeah.
I don't think that she was much of a performer, but her voice, I was, just her voice.
Right, for sure.
So
I'm like, I was sitting here thinking if I should say this, but I'm gonna say it so I can put it out there to manifest. So I just came up with this idea that I'm gonna put together this show, and it's gonna be like, it's not gonna be a Tina Turner tribute, although it will be a tribute to her, but it's not gonna be a tribute. It's gonna be like Tina Reloaded. So in my mind, I have an orchestra, I have a horn section, a band, costumes, and it would be like if she was out today. That's my take on the show. So I'm trying to put this show together and basically shop it around to theaters and all this other stuff. So my goal is to, by the end of the year, which is in a month or two, have this packaged and start presenting it to sell it to buyers. So that's what I want to do. I don't want it to. I've always ran. I can mimic her very, very well. But I've always ran from it, because when you think of people dressing up like Tina, you think of the wig and just the buffoonic stuff. And I never wanted to do that. But I think I could do it to where it's very tasteful. It's not a carbon copy, but more of a paying homage to her,
Okay. All right.
Be looking out for it.
Well, let me know, because Riverside County is only, if you're not without traffic, it's 45 minutes. In traffic is 2 hours. But my son goes to art school in Los Angeles, and he lives on campus. So every time I go visit him, I'm like, oh, I got to drive to LA. So, but I have enjoyed this so much, and I do have a favor to ask you. I'm going to ask you off air, offline, because I don't want to be embarrassed if you shoot me down, and the most you can tell me is no. But you didn't know me. I didn't know you, whatever. The fact that I asked you, would you do this? And you said yes. Because you're helping me get my show, this other show that I'm doing. You're helping me move it along. So I'm going to promote it. I'm going to, do whatever I can, whatever. I'm just happy that you said yes.
Thank you for having me. And whenever everything is done, I'll definitely do what I can do on my end as well to promote it. And I appreciate you for tuning in. Like, honestly, people don't really realize the impact that the lives have. Certain people that sticks out, certain people, and it's weird because you see people's names or username, and it's like it's hard to associate face because there's no face. So it's kind of like, you got to remember people by either their comments or if they have a tag that kind of sticks out to you. So I see you coming in, and I appreciate you so much for the love that you've given and always tuning in. I appreciate that a lot.
Okay. And I will definitely be there tomorrow night. Oh, another thing, you have to tell everyone what platforms you're on, where we can find you, what time.
Okay. So TikTok is my DJ name, which is DJ Karma Camille, just like this. It's backwards, but you get the point, right? It's DJ Karma Camille. Instagram is She Sings and DJ. And
I'm sorry, she sings and DJs.
But no S on it.
Okay.
Sings and DJ. I have DJ Karma Camille on Facebook, DJ Karma Camille on YouTube, and just my name, Myra Washington, as a singer on Facebook.
Okay. If you send me an email with all of this information when I post the show, I'll make sure that I put it in the in the information. So
For sure.
okay. So everyone, I hope you enjoyed this because I enjoyed it, and I hope I answered questions that some of you guys had. So until then I hope to see you on your live.
Yay. All right. Thanks so
All
much.
right.
I appreciate it.